There comes a moment in life, often unexpected, when the world seems to shift beneath your feet. A quiet, almost imperceptible movement at first, like the soft rustle of leaves before a storm. And then, with a clarity that cannot be denied, you understand something has changed, something deep and essential. God, in His mysterious and perfect wisdom, has intervened, and you have been separated from a presence that has long shadowed your soul. That presence, a narcissist cloaked in charm, manipulation, and hidden motives, has finally revealed the truth, not through words, but through the very body that once seemed so composed, so in control. Your heart, though perhaps bruised and wary, recognizes the liberation that comes when the hidden is laid bare. For years, you may have walked in a fog, thinking their affection genuine, their attention sincere, their love selfless. And yet, deep down, a small voice within you, perhaps quiet, almost timid, suspected the rot beneath the surface, the gaslighting, the subtle undermining, the constant shifting of blame, the way every moment with them seemed to leave you more uncertain of yourself than before. These were not accidents. They were the careful constructs of a soul skilled in hiding its true nature. And still, you persevered, seeking reasons, seeking love, seeking connection. But now, the veil has lifted. God, in His quiet and deliberate power, has orchestrated the exposure of what they could not hide any longer. Their body, oh, how revealing a body can be when the soul behind it trembles with the weight of truth. The nervous gestures, the avoidance of eye contact, the tiny, involuntary tells that speak louder than any confession have become undeniable testimony. It is astonishing how the human form, bound by instinct and conscience, often reveals what the lips refuse to speak. They cannot control these subtle signs, these betrayals of their own making, and in this revelation you find clarity, and with clarity comes freedom. Consider the years you invested, the moments you gave, the love you offered, thinking it was returned in kind. It may feel painful to acknowledge the imbalance, to confront the reality that their presence was not a mirror of your own humanity, but a reflection of their own needs, desires, and manipulations. And yet, there is a profound grace in recognizing it now, for in understanding the truth, you are invited into a deeper understanding of yourself. You are reminded that your heart, your mind, and your spirit deserve honesty, respect, and love that is pure in intent. No longer must you bend yourself to fit the contours of someone else's deceit. No longer must you carry the weight of another's guilt, shame, or self-interest as if it were your own. It is important to acknowledge the subtlety with which narcissists operate. They are not always overt in their cruelty. Often their deception is a slow erosion, a drip of dissonance that leaves one questioning reality. One begins to doubt their own instincts, their own perceptions, their own worth. They become adept at sowing confusion, using charm and feigned vulnerability as weapons, making you complicit in a narrative that is never truly yours. And yet, even amidst this darkness, there is always a light that cannot be extinguished, the light of truth, of God's wisdom, guiding you toward the clarity you now embrace. Notice how their body speaks what words cannot. A shift in posture, a twitch of the hand, a tightening of the jaw. Small, yet loaded with meaning. These subtle confessions have always been there, hidden in plain sight. But only now do you have the eyes to see, the heart to understand, and the courage to accept. It is a moment both humbling and empowering, for it strips away illusion and exposes reality. And what is reality, if not the fertile ground upon which your own soul can finally grow unencumbered? There is a certain beauty in the divine timing of such revelations. It is never too late for truth to emerge. No act of concealment is so perfect that it can withstand the inexorable scrutiny of conscience, nor the subtle orchestration of divine intervention. And so, as their body confesses what their tongue has denied, you are gifted the ability to see clearly, to step back, to reclaim your autonomy and your dignity. You are reminded that the world is not governed solely by appearances, but by the deeper laws of honesty, integrity, and divine justice. You may feel a rush of emotions: anger, grief, relief, even disbelief. These feelings are natural, for they are the echoes of years spent in the shadow of deception. Allow yourself to feel them fully, without judgment, without rush. For in feeling, you begin the process of untangling yourself from their influence. The chains they forged in your life, often invisible and insidious, are now breaking, not by your force alone, but by the gentle insistence of truth. And with each shattering piece, you are lighter, freer, more yourself. It is also crucial to recognize the subtle lesson in this divine separation. Sometimes the world attempts to teach us, through discomfort, through the pain of broken illusions, through the exposure of hidden realities. We are not abandoned in these moments. Rather, we are guided, pushed, and prepared for a new chapter of life. God's intervention in separating you from a narcissist is not merely a reprieve from suffering. It is an invitation into a fuller, richer experience of life, one where honesty, authenticity, and love can flourish without fear or manipulation. Consider the irony: the very body that sought to deceive, to dominate, to hide the truth, is now the instrument of revelation. The subtle tremor, the involuntary glance, the fleeting micro-expression, these are confessions louder than any spoken words. And you, who have watched and waited, who have felt the quiet dissonance of your intuition, now have proof. You have been granted clarity not just by witnessing their physical truths, but by understanding that your perception, your discernment, your inner voice were never misguided. They were your allies all along, patiently guiding you toward liberation. As you reflect upon this separation, allow yourself to appreciate the gravity of what has occurred. It is not simply an escape from toxicity. It is a divine recalibration. Your soul, once tethered to confusion and deception, is now poised to rise, to thrive, to experience a life unshackled from manipulation. And while the world may still challenge you, still present tests of patience and strength, you now possess a renewed sense of self, an inner fortitude that cannot be shaken by the hollow charms of false affection. It is tempting in the aftermath of such revelations to dwell upon the past, to question your own judgment, to wonder why it took so long to see what is now so obvious. And yet, such musings, though natural, are unnecessary burdens. The past cannot be rewritten, nor should it be denied, but it can be understood. Every interaction, every hidden slight, every moment of doubt or confusion was part of the divine orchestration leading you to this very moment. And in understanding this, you are granted peace, you are granted perspective, you are granted the freedom to move forward without the weight of resentment, guilt, or fear. There is also an undeniable power in witnessing the truth emerge without confrontation. The body, in its silent honesty, often speaks louder than the most vehement declaration. When words fail, when excuses crumble, when charm dissipates, the truth of character remains. And in that truth, you find not only evidence of deception, but affirmation of your own strength, discernment, and resilience. For it is one thing to suspect duplicity, to feel its presence in the subtle energies of interaction. It is another entirely to witness it undeniable, irrefutable, and unavoidable. And in this witnessing, you are empowered. You may feel a sense of vindication, though it is a quiet, sober kind. It is not gloating, nor is it a desire for revenge. Rather, it is the profound recognition that reality has asserted itself, the truth has emerged, and that you, by grace, are now unbound. It is the satisfaction of a soul finally acknowledged in its wisdom, of intuition validated, of patience rewarded. And yet, this vindication is but a starting point. It is the foundation upon which you may now build a life of clarity, authenticity, and peace. Think also of the lessons embedded in this experience. Narcissists often teach indirectly through their deception. They reveal the contours of human weakness, the seductive allure of charm, the dangers of misplacing trust. And while these lessons may be painful, they are invaluable. They sharpen discernment, strengthen resilience, and deepen understanding of what it means to walk with integrity, to honor one's own worth, to recognize the difference between love and manipulation. You emerge from this trial not merely as a survivor, but as someone wiser, stronger, and more attuned to the rhythms of truth and deception in the world around you. In observing their body confess the hidden truths, you may also come to a profound understanding of human frailty, how easy it is to construct facades, to wear masks, to deceive even oneself, and how ultimately no mask is impermeable, no deception eternal. Truth has a way of asserting itself, often in the smallest, subtlest of ways, and when it does, the universe seems to pause, as if acknowledging that justice, in its quiet and patient form, has finally arrived. You are witness to this justice, a living testament to the unfolding of divine order in human affairs. There is, too, a remarkable sense of liberation in this separation. The narcissist, for all their cunning and subtlety, cannot hold sway over a soul awakened. Your spirit, once tethered to manipulation, now soars. Your energy, once consumed by confusion and self-doubt, is reclaimed. Your heart, once weary and bruised, is open to authentic connection, genuine affection, and the profound joys of life, untainted by deception. And in this liberation, you glimpse the infinite possibilities of a life guided by truth, clarity, and divine wisdom. As you continue to observe the subtle confessions of their body, consider also the significance of timing. It is never coincidence that the revelation comes when it does. God's orchestration is precise, deliberate, and perfect. What seemed delayed, uncertain, or even painful was in fact preparation, a way to ensure that when truth emerged you were ready to perceive it fully, to grasp its significance, to act with courage and clarity. There is profound beauty in such timing, a reminder that even in human relationships divine wisdom shapes the course of event, beyond our immediate perception. As you move forward, consider how this separation, though it may have felt abrupt or unsettling, is in reality an act of profound grace. The world often teaches us that suffering is punishment, that pain is a reflection of failure, that deception endured is a mark of weakness. And yet here you stand, not diminished, not defeated, but awakened. For the very act of being separated from a narcissist, of witnessing the undeniable truth of their concealed nature, is a testament to resilience, discernment, and the quiet power of God's guidance. You are being prepared for something far greater than mere relief from toxicity. You are being ushered into a season of clarity, authenticity, and renewal. The body, as it confesses in ways words never could, reminds us of the intimate connection between spirit and flesh. Every gesture, every fleeting motion, every nervous tick is an echo of the soul's concealed realities. And you, whose eyes have learned to perceive beyond the surface, now witness the full measure of what was hidden. There is a strange, almost paradoxical satisfaction in this revelation, for it confirms what you have always known in your innermost self, that deception, no matter how artful, cannot remain eternal. It is a law of the human spirit that truth, when pressed by patience and observation, will reveal itself, often in ways both subtle and unavoidable. It is natural in these moments to reflect on the years lost to manipulation, to replay encounters in the mind, to question one's own choices. And yet such reflection, when approached with honesty, becomes a wellspring of wisdom rather than a burden of regret. You begin to understand the intricacies of human behavior, the ways in which charm can be weaponized, how flattery and feigned vulnerability are often tools of control. You learn, too, the profound lesson that love cannot thrive in shadows, that trust cannot flourish where deception reigns, and that no soul is meant to diminish or compromise the light of another. In this awareness, you find a deeper appreciation for the strength that lies within you. The very moments in which you questioned yourself, doubted your perception, and felt the creeping uncertainty of manipulation were also the moments in which your resilience was quietly building. Every act of patience, every instinct listened to, every hesitation honored, was preparing you for this day of revelation. And now, standing in the clarity of truth, you can see that the trials were not arbitrary, but part of a larger design, a design that has allowed you to emerge not only unscathed but empowered. The confession of the body is not simply evidence of deception, it is a mirror reflecting the nature of human frailty and pride. For all the sophistication of manipulation, all the carefully crafted illusions, the narcissist cannot escape the truths encoded in their own physical being. It is a lesson in humility, a reminder that no matter how clever or persuasive, every soul is bound by its own limitations, its own conscience, and its own need for acknowledgement. And you, who have witnessed this, are given a rare and precious insight, the ability to see beyond appearances, to discern reality with precision, and to value truth above the seductive veil of illusion. It is important to acknowledge the freedom that comes from stepping away, the release from manipulation, from hidden agendas, from emotional turbulence, is not merely a return to equilibrium, it is a leap into a fuller, richer engagement with life. You are no longer tethered to the erratic moods, the subtle coercions, the silent power plays of someone else's will. Your energy, once sapped by vigilance and doubt, is now liberated. Your heart, once cautious and burdened, is now free to respond to authenticity, kindness, and genuine connection. And in this liberation, you sense the expansive possibilities of a life guided not by fear, but by wisdom, courage, and the gentle insistence of truth. Consider the irony and beauty of divine timing in this experience. Often, we seek resolution in human terms, wishing for confrontations, explanations, or apologies. And yet, what is delivered to you is infinitely more potent, the quiet, unspoken confession of the body. It is a revelation untainted by pretense, a truth that cannot be denied, an unveiling that bypasses the defenses of ego and pride. It is as if the universe itself, in coordination with divine intent, has chosen a method of disclosure that is both undeniable and instructive. And you, standing witness to this, are invited into a state of profound awareness, clarity, and empowerment. In reflecting upon this journey, one begins to appreciate the intricate interplay between patience, observation, and divine orchestration. You were never abandoned even in the moments of doubt, even when confusion seemed to cloud your perception. Every subtle cue you noticed, every instinct you heeded, every moment of inner questioning was part of a larger narrative, one in which truth would emerge at the right time. And now, as it does, you are granted not only understanding but also the affirmation of your own discernment. You are reminded that your intuition, your careful attentiveness, and your willingness to honor your own soul were never misguided. They were your allies, steadfast and faithful. The experience also teaches the value of self-respect. When one has been ensnared by manipulation, there is a temptation to internalize blame, to assume responsibility for another's deceit, to wonder what could have been done differently. And yet, in witnessing the involuntary confessions of the body, you recognize that the deception was never a reflection of your worth, but of theirs. Your dignity, your integrity, and your heart remain intact, untainted by their manipulation. And with this recognition comes a profound sense of liberation, a reclamation of self that allows for renewed engagement with life, free from the distortions of false affection and hidden agendas. There is too a subtle but profound spiritual dimension to this revelation. In many ways, being separated from a narcissist is a form of divine protection. It is as if the hand of providence itself has intervened, guiding you away from further entanglement with someone whose intentions were neither pure nor aligned with your well-being. The body's confession is merely the final flourish, the undeniable evidence of a truth that has long been gestating beneath the surface. And in recognizing this, you are reminded that life, though often opaque and challenging, is governed by a wisdom greater than our own, a wisdom that seeks not merely to spare us discomfort, but to cultivate our growth, discernment, and capacity for authentic love. As the days unfold, you may notice subtle shifts within yourself, Freed from the constant vigilance required by manipulation, your thoughts may feel clearer, your emotions more balanced, your sense of purpose more defined. You may begin to see relationships, opportunities and experiences in a new light, recognizing patterns and intentions that were previously obscured. And in this new clarity, you find a renewed capacity to engage with life fully, openly, and without reservation, confident in the knowledge that you are guided by truth and integrity. It is also important to honor the process of healing. Separation from a narcissist, no matter how divinely orchestrated, is rarely without emotional residue. There may be moments of sadness, flashes of anger, or pangs of grief. These are natural responses, not signs of weakness, but reflections of the deep investment you made in what you believe to be mutual trust and love. Allow yourself to process these emotions fully, without judgment or suppression, for in processing you reclaim the energy that was once consumed by their manipulation, transforming it into strength, insight and clarity. And yet, in the midst of reflection, there is joy to be found, joy in clarity, joy in freedom, joy in the recognition that the truth cannot be permanently concealed. The body's confession, in its subtle but undeniable ways, is a testament to the inevitability of honesty, the triumph of reality over pretense, and the resilience of your own spirit. It is a quiet celebration of liberation, a moment of profound affirmation that you are, and always have been, capable of discerning truth, upholding dignity and honoring the sacredness of your own soul. Even more, there is the promise of transformation. Having been freed from the influence of someone whose intentions were not aligned with your highest good, you are now positioned to experience relationships, experiences, and spiritual growth in a manner that is authentic and unburdened. The lessons learned, the discernment developed, the resilience cultivated, all become tools not only for avoiding future deception, but for deepening your capacity to engage with the world honestly, openly, and courageously. You may also find that your empathy deepens, paradoxically, as a result of this ordeal. Having experienced the subtle machinery of manipulation firsthand, you understand with greater clarity the human vulnerabilities that allow for such deception. You become more compassionate, not toward the narcissist necessarily, but toward yourself and others who navigate the complexities of trust, love, and human frailty. Your heart, once cautious and wary, may now open with greater wisdom, balancing discernment with the ability to recognize genuine goodness when it appears. The body's involuntary confessions, then, are not merely evidence of deception, they are instruments of enlightenment. They teach patience, cultivate discernment, and provide a window into the intricate interplay between human intention and divine oversight. In observing them, you witness not only the unraveling of falsehood, but the emergence of a deeper understanding of reality. A reality in which truth, though sometimes delayed, is inevitable, and in which the soul that remains vigilant, attentive, and faithful is always ultimately rewarded. And so, as you walk forward from this revelation, let it be with gratitude, courage, and clarity. Let it be with the knowledge that you have survived, that you have discerned, and that you are now free to inhabit your own life fully. Let it be with the understanding that every subtle gesture, every hidden truth, every quiet confession was part of a divine tapestry leading you to this moment of awakening. And in this awakening, may you find not only freedom but also profound strength, a strengthened heart, and an unshakable faith in the ultimate triumph of truth, integrity, and divine wisdom. And so, you stand today, not as one diminished by deception, but as one elevated by truth. You have witnessed the unveiling of what was hidden, felt the liberation that comes when illusion gives way to clarity, and embraced the profound wisdom that emerges from discernment and patience. The narcissist, in their body's confession, has revealed what words could not, but in doing so, they have given you the greatest gift of all, the opportunity to reclaim your life, your heart, and your spirit. Step forward with courage, for you are free. Step forward with faith, for you are guided. Step forward with love, not the love of manipulation or pretense, but the love that honors your soul, celebrates your dignity, and embraces the truth that will never be hidden again. In this newfound clarity, you are not merely surviving, you are thriving, illuminated by the certainty that the hand of God moves in every revelation, every separation, and every step that leads you closer to the life you were always meant to live.